unfortunately, Matt couldn't be with us today, but my wife is filling in for him, Casey.
Hi.
All right, today's topics. What are we talking about today, James?
So today's topic is going to be top 10 animated movies. So who do you want to have go first?
Let's have Casey start it off. We're going to start off at number 10.
Okay. My number 10 is Hotel Transylvania. I guess I kind of got on it because of my son, but it's a really cute animated film. I like the storyline where the dad's like super overprotective and he learns to like adapt to the modern culture.
I like in that one how like the monsters are afraid of the humans kind of at first.
Yeah, it's like opposite of like what the
norm would be of that kind of
that
stuff.
kind of thing. Yeah, exactly.
You ever see that movie, James?
Honestly, I think I've only seen it once.
Really?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, I was gonna say probably here. So I don't think I've actually like watched it fully from the beginning to the end. But
I like that choice, but I think the fact that my son has made me watch that movie like a billion times
kind of ruined it
For
for
you.
Yeah, I still like it, but yeah. But yeah, I like that. It's a good choice.
All right, Chris.
All right, so my number 10 is going to be The Great Mouse Detective. It's an older one. Definitely saw it when I was a kid. I remember watching that with my brother. Either of you ever even seen or heard of that one?
I actually
I've
have.
heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I've definitely
Dude,
seen
it's
that movie.
it's so good.
Actually.
It's got like a Sherlock Holmes kind of feel to it. Like, it's Sherlock Holmes, but it's a mouse,
Exactly.
And I can't remember if they're chasing a rat or... I know the guy gets mad if they call him a rat, but... Dude, it's like darker. I don't know. I really, really, really like it. So it's
good.
It's a good Disney.
I think
one.
the last time I saw that I was probably like 9 years old. So it's been a good
it's
minute
been a
since
minute.
I've seen that movie.
I bought it on Amazon for my son, and dude, of course, just
Didn't want to watch
well,
it.
no, we got to retry it soon. But it's so good.
It's a good one. I agree.
They dropped the elementary Watson, the Sherlock always says. So it's good.
Definitely worth seeing.
What about you though, James? Number 10.
Number 10 is Monsters Inc.
Good
a
call.
movie that I've probably seen a good 30 times. Pretty much any time I see it, it's on regular television. I'll definitely throw it on, which is pretty good for a kid movie when I'm an adult, so I can't complain. But I don't know, I just like the storyline of it. I think it's a cute movie. There's some pretty good characters in there. Sully, Mike, I mean, they're both really funny in my opinion. They kind of add something to it.
I like that movie. Which is Sully
Sully's
the
blue guy.
and then Mike's the guy with
Yeah.
just a giant eye.
With the one eye, the green guy.
When he sees the commercial and he's like super pumped that he's in it, but he's in it for like
he's like
and then like the thing goes over his face and like Sully thinks he's gonna get all mad.
Yeah.
You see me?
And then the mom calls and he talks to her.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, no, just the small little comedy aspects of it and just like I don't know the storyline to it. It makes it worth watching.
Without ruining a list, do you like that more or better than the sequel?
Definitely better than the sequel.
The prequel, I guess it is, right?
It's a prequel technically, but I feel like the original is always going to be the best one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's a good call.
It doesn't always happen for every movie, but
I feel like a lot of them it is, but yeah, there's. Yeah.
It's hard to duplicate what they do in the first one,
Right.
It's super original, and then
Yeah. All right, Case. What's number 9?
My number 9 is Nightmare Before Christmas.
What?
I know it's kind of a weird like animated movie, but
it's a little too low on the list.
It should be higher, I know, but there's too many to choose from.
Do you like this one?
Oh, I love this movie.
It's always been a favorite of mine. I watch it every year at Halloween and at Christmas, sometimes more throughout the year. But anyways, the characters are awesome. I love the way it represents Halloween and how it like comes to be more than that and how it's not all about scary and like about the kids, and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's a good
and there's
one.
like evil plot twists to it, which I kind of like about it, but it's also
I think
kind
that
of
movie,
like a...
The movie like scared me as a kid.
It definitely scared me as a kid. Like when I was younger,
I could see why it would do
like
that.
the part where the girl would go up and there was that creepy guy that she would like feed
Yeah.
the soup. Like that part always freaked me out. That guy in the wheelchair, like he was definitely
Oh,
scary.
yeah.
But other than that,
No,
once he goes into like Christmas Town, like it's actually like really cool, and I like watching that stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoy that movie.
And I love the little dog.
It'll be on
Like the little bird dog.
It's good. I love that movie.
I
Such a good movie.
I knew it'd be on Casey's list for sure. I know she
Christopher's
loves
not
this
a
movie.
fan.
not a fan. It's just
I get it definitely takes. Like it's a certain person that
Yeah,
likes that
it's
kind of a movie.
yeah,
Like it's
no.
not like an everyone's
I
gonna
just
love
like
this
that it
movie.
kind of appeals to like both aspects. It can be like a Halloween movie. It could also be like a Christmas
Yes,
movie.
I know.
So
I
it's
like
like
that
you can
too.
watch it all the time.
That is true.
All year long.
There's never been another movie like it, so that's
There really hasn't. And I like that they didn't try and like make like a into like a sequel. Like
right.
some movies just should not be like
Retouched.
They
or
kind of
redone.
make it like they kind of leave it off, like when they go and they like there's all those doors. They like
it
leave it off, like
looks
they
like
might
it's
do
gonna
another
come back
one.
with like
but
other
like,
holidays.
I'm glad they didn't. Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't too. But you never know in the future. There's movies that come back 15 years later with
Yeah,
the
no
sequel, so
kidding.
I guess we'll see.
Just like Monsters Inc.
Yeah, exactly. How long did that take?
Prime example.
And it still wasn't even like the sequel that it should have been.
Well, that's what everybody.
Because the ending was so like you
Yeah.
have to know what happens when he opens the door afterwards.
Well,
but no one still knows.
While we're talking about it, I'm just gonna say my number 9 is Monsters Inc.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
And that is the only thing I was gonna add to what James said is like the way it ends, because it ends with like the girl going kitty or whatever, right?
yeah,
And
because he like went back afterwards and
Yeah.
went back in her room.
But it just everyone thought the sequel would like start there, and it just had nothing to do with it.
Well, then again, it is a prequel though, so we never actually had a sequel to
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I get that. I thought the next Monsters Inc. one was going to be a sequel. Not
That's
like,
what everybody
I don't know why
wanted.
they would do a prequel versus a sequel, but
Hopefully, eventually, one day, maybe they'll come a sequel.
right. No, I'd agree. Well, I guess there's not much you could say on that.
Yeah, it's been talked about. So we're gonna go on to James then for number 9.
All right, my number 9 is a movie that I don't know if you guys have like seen it or not. It's called Chicken Run.
Heard of it? Haven't seen it.
Have you seen it?
Is Zach Braff a voice? Or that might be Little Chicken. Chicken Run?
Yeah, Chicken Run.
Is that
feel
like
there's a lot of chicken
claymation?
movies.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. It's dude, I don't know.
I've seen bits and pieces of
It's
it.
like it's kind of a weird movie, but like I just remember watching it. Like it just like has always been a movie of my childhood. Like my sister loved that movie, so we used to watch it all the time. I don't know, just like something about it. Like it's just kind of interesting. Like it's weird, but it's at the same time it just like it's entertaining. So I don't know.
I get that.
It went up high on my list. You know, not gonna lie. Liked it a lot, but I can see why it wouldn't be on your list, or if you guys haven't even seen it.
I mean, I'm gonna write it down now and try to check it out for Matthew. So
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Chicken Run.
Yeah, Chicken Run.
Wow.
What about you, Case? Number 8.
My number 8 is Finding Nemo. One of my favorite Disney movies.
a solid
Or
movie.
Pixar, I don't know which one it is, but
It's a good choice. It didn't make my list, but I really like that movie.
yeah, like I don't know, I love underwater movies to begin with. Like I've always been obsessed with that kind of stuff, and I just think it's like a cute like kid version of like I just like the fact that he gets lost and everyone like helps him find his way back. It's like
Right.
crazy how like you can go on such an adventure and then eventually and just the whole like Dory aspect I thought was like super entertaining. I wasn't like a huge fan of like the Finding Dory sequel. I know everyone likes it, but I've always liked the original better.
Yeah.
Finding Dory didn't even make my list. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it's just I don't know. I don't think you can like top the first one.
Yeah, I agree. Finding Nemo is really good. I really enjoy the movie as a kid. I even enjoy it now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Right.
It's good anytime, but I would definitely have to agree with you that Finding Dory did not quite live up to the Finding Nemo level, in my opinion.
With how good the original was, I just feel like, yeah, it definitely didn't live up to like what the first one was.
Yeah.
Again, it's not terrible. It's a pretty good movie. I feel like they did an okay job with it, but
I like the voices that they got for the second one, but overall, Nemo is definitely the better of the two.
No. I agree.
yeah.
Chris, what's it gonna be?
We'll be on number 8.
Number 8, son.
You know, gotta get that Office reference in. You know, a little Steve Carell,
Oh,
Despicable
jeez.
Me.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
I didn't even think about that movie when I was doing it.
he did such a good job with the voices in it. I can't even comment on. Are they up to 3 or 4 now?
I think it's 3.
I can't even.
I think the third one just recently was
Yeah.
it?
I can't even comment on the second or third because I haven't seen it. But the first one, I really enjoy it. You know, he's trying to capture the moon or whatever, and then the girls
he's
are
like a villain, right? I've never even seen these movies actually. Like I've
It's-
never seen fully
so
through.
good.
Despicable Me is good. Actually, it's super good. I like the fact that like it's like it hits all the like, good like
He like adopts
parts,
the
you know?
kids,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
because
Yeah.
they're in a
Okay.
foster home.
Right,
at the
They're in a
beginning.
foster
okay.
home, right? He adopts them, and then like he kind of decides like, well, he has to like decide what's better for him, like his evil career or like the kids.
a
Well, at first
dad,
he's
so-
just using the kids
Right.
to get the shrink ray or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
But then it's like over time, just like
he actually like
Yeah, it connects with them
develops
and
a
stuff.
relationship
Yeah,
with them. Yeah,
Right.
you need to watch that
Yeah,
one.
no,
I'll
you
have to
should
check
see
it out.
It's good. It's cute.
Yeah, and it's Steve Carell. You
Of
can't go
course.
wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. It's good. I like
Yeah.
it. And you're all right. He does a really good job in that movie. Surprisingly well,
It's
actually.
like Russian or whatever, isn't he,
Yeah.
or something? He does I like his.
I've heard the accent. It's really
Yeah,
good.
and he's got all the little minions helping him and stuff, and they're cute or whatever, messing stuff up.
Right.
It's good.
It
We
definitely
got to
is.
get that one on Amazon for sure. Matthew, it might take 2 or 3 watches, but
Eventually he'll get there.
He'll get there.
It'll probably be his new favorite movie at one point.
I think he'd like it. Yeah, I think he'd like it.
So that was number 8 for me, if I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're on to James.
All right, my number 8 is a movie that I actually just saw really recently, but it blew me away.
This is a recent one?
Yeah, it is. Can you guess it?
Topia?
No.
That's gonna be higher on the list.
It is.
It's not on your list.
It's called Moana. Or Moana?
Moana.
However you pronounce it.
Moana.
I love that movie. It didn't make my list, but I really love that movie.
I watched it with Melanie and her little brother, and I think I was more into the movie than her little brother was. It was really good. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much. Just like, I don't know.
It's such a good movie. The first time I watched it, I literally think I watched it like with Matthew every morning for like 2 weeks straight.
The
like,
songs
he wanted to
are
watch
great.
It, and just the music's awesome.
The songs, just I don't know. It's like it's catchy.
Really
I don't know
catchy.
exactly.
And it's not your like everyday princess that's
Right.
like
right, exactly.
I mean, she's the princess of the island. She's going out to try to find like new land for the people because she knows the island's dying. And
right.
It's just
she's kind of like a badass in the movie
Yeah.
too. Which is like kind of cool to
seriously,
see for like
exactly.
Disney. You know what I mean? She's like a rebel against her dad, and she like wants to like
The Rock.
Yeah, but who is like what's that guy's name? I don't know what his name is, but like
Maui.
Maui.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
You're
The
welcome.
demigod.
Yeah.
This is welcome
He's so
song
good.
is so
like,
good.
I don't know. Just the two of them like together.
The only song I don't like is the
And
crab
what's
song.
the chicken name? What's the chicken's name?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, why
I'm
can't I
not
think
gonna
of this?
remember
The
that.
dumbest chicken you've ever met where he just like eats rocks and stuff. I can't even think of his name, but it cracks me up every time.
But that's the purpose of that.
Right.
Because then that ends up like saving the day almost.
Yep.
I'm looking at my list and Moana didn't make it, and I'm kind of wondering.
I know
why
when
it
he
didn't.
said that. I like it. I don't know. There's just like it was very close. I think it was like number 10 or 11 or 12 for me, but just
It would be 11 for me. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's one movie I haven't seen a whole bunch of, but like when I saw it, I was like, you know what, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
And I just had to throw it on the list.
That's a good call. Frozen like outshines that movie, but I feel like it's head and
There
shoulders
was
above
such
Frozen.
a phenomenon
See,
with like Frozen though. Like it was
I
just
did not
crazy.
like Frozen, and like
I
I
was
feel like
not a fan.
everyone loved that movie, but like I was not about to throw that on my list because it's kind of an opinionated list.
Yeah,
but, it's movies that I enjoy, so I just didn't enjoy it. But
I mean, if we were just doing best Disney movie,
top movies,
you know what I mean?
obviously that
be
would be on the
there.
top.
Yeah, but it's for my personal favorite. I'm not a big fan of Frozen.
right. So does that bring us to number 7 with Casey?
Number 7 is Casey.
All right, my number 7 pick is Big Hero 6. I really like the concept of the movie. I think it's really good. I like how
It's a Marvel movie too.
it is a Marvel
Which,
movie,
like,
which makes it
surprises
pretty
me.
cool. I know it's weird to think. I agree.
Stanley even shows up at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the moral of the movie, like about how I don't know. I like the save the world aspect to it. I guess how they're trying to like get the bad guy. I always like those kind of movies. Plus, there's like kind of like the plot twist of how at first he wants nothing to do with like the school and he thinks it's so nerdy, and then he turns out like loving it, and he ends up like becoming like best friends with all of his like late brother's friends, obviously. I don't know. It's just a fun movie. And then the one guy is like super funny where he dresses up in like costumes and he's just like kind of crazy. Yeah, Fred. And he's just like the humor in the movie, which I think is really funny because I feel like all movies need to have like a little bit of humor
I also
with
like
it.
Wasabi.
Wasabi's really funny. Everyone, yeah.
That's a good movie. It didn't make my list, but it's up there. It
didn't make my list, and not because like I don't think it's probably good, but I haven't seen it.
Well, you have to see the movie to
definitely,
make the list.
Definitely worth the watch.
So I can't say it's like.
It's got like a cool twist
to it.
Of
good reviews though.
We won't spoil it for you, but like there's a twist halfway through you don't really see coming, and like he.
And
like
Baymax is just such a fun, lovable little guy. You know what I mean? And
it's kids trying to save the world, dude. Who doesn't want to watch that?
Right.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to check it out.
You really should.
Also, really good music in the movie. I really like the music of it.
She likes Who's the sugar going down swinging? Who is that?
Oh,
Sugar,
that's,
we're going down swinging.
I don't know off the top of my head.
What band is that? They have a song in
Yeah.
it.
No,
That band
I know
has
what
a
you're
song.
talking about. I can't think
What
of
are
the
they
name.
called? Oh my god.
Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I was gonna pause this for a minute and Google
Try and think
it.
it.
Yeah, Fall Out. They have a kind of a cool song.
Yeah,
in
they
it.
do.
So
Okay. Well, good choice. All right, Chris.
number 6, right?
7.
No, 7 for you still.
7 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm right. I was messed up on my spot there for a minute. My number 7 has to be South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. South Park the movie.
I didn't think about
It counts, right?
I mean, it's animated, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I would think so.
You say you don't think so?
I would think so.
Dude, I don't know,
I
man.
personally don't like South Park, so I can't say I've
like
seen
South Park. I've never seen the South Park. I didn't even know there was a South Park movie.
Dude, the movie is so good. It's like, dude, they cuss so much, but it's like they have songs in it, and like, dude, their songs are so good. I mean, we went and saw Book of Mormon. It's those people
Okay, yeah.
that made that play. Yeah,
right?
so it's just
That was a good play.
yeah,
I'm sure,
and they had funny songs in that. So it's just
definitely.
it's not for everyone. Definitely not for like kids, and I won't go too in detail with it, but it's real funny.
I'll have to watch that.
Dude.
I didn't even know it existed.
I'm over the whole South Park thing at this stage in my life, but that movie is still like really good and everything.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out because
it's worth it.
Who doesn't like a South Park swearing?
Yeah, it's got the Kyle's mom is a big Vegas. Yeah.
Exactly what you're talking about. Yep. For sure.
All right, so we'll bring it to you, James.
All right, number 7. 7 is Incredibles. They recently had the Incredibles 2 just came out not too long ago. I really enjoyed the first one. I have not seen the second one, so I guess
Either have I, but it's supposed to be like the best sequel ever.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I'll have to check it out. I know
I
Melanie,
haven't
my
seen the
girlfriend's
first
seen
one.
it. So you what?
I know. I'm lacking on the animated lately.
Oh my goodness, Casey. I'll bring it over.
I've heard it's really good. Yeah.
The first one's good. I really enjoyed the first one. Just like I like movies with superpowers and movies like that. So like them all having their own little special abilities and the whole family aspect of it's kind of cool.
It's the whole family has power, even the baby, right?
Right, yeah. And the baby's like supposed to be like the most powerful one, which I'm sure it plays a lot in the second one from what it sounds like. But I don't know, just really enjoyed it. Was definitely looking forward to the sequel, so I'll have to check that out. But like I said, I just enjoyed the whole movie. Really, I thought it was really good.
I feel like there's a big I feel like that movie appeals to like such a great audience too, because there's like people that I know that are like 30 that were just like so excited to go see this movie. You know what I mean? Like it's
a lot of people my age were pumped to see it, and I'm 30 because
that's what I'm saying. It hits
a lot of friends.
It hits all those people that are like our age and older, and then
plus the younger audience.
Exactly. I'm sure
because it's been so long.
Right. It's been.
I saw that movie in theaters.
Well, I mean that's kind of how it was. Like, not that it was as good as that, but with Finding Dory, the same thing. Like we haven't seen that. That was like 10 years before a sequel, so everyone gets like super crazy about it, and like once
I also heard that in this one you like can tell like how far Pixar's come with their technology. It's supposed to just be like
that's good to
awesome,
hear. Right? Yeah, just I don't know. I thought
it is
really
Pixar,
good.
right?
Yeah,
I
I just really thought it was good, and the whole villain aspect of it.
It's the kid from the beginning, right?
What?
The bad guy.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the second one.
No, the first
one. Yeah. The first one is the kid who
tried to help him at the beginning.
To help him, he becomes the villain. Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah. I like that. That whole movie is good.
And he just somehow becomes super rich and has all this technology and it's interesting.
Oh yeah. So that's Incredibles. That's your number. What was that?
That was my number 7, I believe, which brings us to Casey's number 6.
Casey, number 6.
My number 6 is Rise of the Guardians. I love this movie. I don't know. This one's so good. I like the aspect that it has the Tooth Fairy, Jack Frost. I don't know what they call him. They don't call him Santa. I can't even. They don't call him Santa in the movie, do they? I don't remember.
I think they call him Santa.
Do they? Okay.
But it is
in the beginning, it's just cool because Jack Frost, he has no worth of life. He thinks he's just useless. Nobody can see him because obviously nobody believes in him, and I like the kid aspect about it. If you believe in them, you're able to see them. And then it's got the twist of the boogeyman and how he's coming back to try and take over so that everyone would be like living in fear instead of like believing in like hope and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like I love the little plot about how like the rabbit, like the Easter Bunny, and like Jack Frost like absolutely hate each other at first, and then they end up like becoming like really good friends, and like once he realizes more off like what the like I don't know what I'm trying to say, I guess.
No,
when he
like,
realizes the importance of like the kids, and he like learns like or like wants to like the kids to believe in him instead of just being like a menace, like causing like 1 year he ruined Easter, right, for the Easter Bunny, and that's why he had like this huge vendetta against him, which is kind of funny. But all in all, it's a really good movie, and
it's kind of a cooler concept that I would think would be like more used, like how like it's like the Easter Bunny and like all the mythical fake creatures that not creatures, but you know what I'm saying. It's like as kids that you believe in them, and like they're real, and they form like a team to protect the kids, and as long as they're being believed in, they have powers.
And the Man in the Moon is the one who controls them basically, which is kind of funny. And then I like the aspect of how like the Tooth Fairy keeps like the teeth, but also there's like the kids' memories in the teeth, so like all of the memories from when they were younger are in the teeth, so that she knows. Cool. Like I think
Sandman's the coolest character.
I was gonna say I didn't think I had seen this movie, but then when you guys were like describing it, I was like, I've totally seen this movie. So it's definitely good.
It's good, and I love. What's his name? Jamie. I love Jamie, the little boy, the one who like will always believe
the last
in them
one to believe.
The last light. Yeah, so that was a good movie.
I like it. It's actually like a pretty action-packed one too.
It is, yeah.
All right, Chris. What does that bring us to? Number 6 on your list?
Number 6 for me. Classic Lion King.
Such a good movie.
Dude. To be honest with you, it didn't make my list.
It didn't make my list either, but
It's a good one. It's a good one, dude.
It's good.
I can tell you why it would have made the list and why it didn't make the list, but it's just there's no point in going into it. But it was hard for me not to put it on my list. I literally was sitting there looking at the movie like this should be on the list, but I didn't put it on the list, and who knows? Maybe I'll regret it.
Dude, it's so good. The songs in that one are so good.
They are so good.
Scar betrays Mufasa. Tricks Simba into thinking he did it.
One of my favorites for sure.
Which is like, how did he?
Right.
How did you do
and
this?
Rafiki, like he's just crazy.
Who does it? It's Simone and Pumbaa. Is this Timon and Pumbaa? Yeah. People are gonna be like, "This is sick." He doesn't even know their names. But it's like those characters are awesome.
Right.
I love when they're going back to save the day, and then they're gonna be like, when he's like, "We got a plan. It's gonna be the bait plan or whatever." And Timon and Pumbaa are like, what are you talking about? And it's clearly they're going to be the bait.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. That movie's good. I love it.
That's a good
Everything about it.
No, I think that's a good spot for it on the list. It's a good movie.
It's more of a nostalgia kind of thing.
Yeah,
too,
definitely.
If it's on, I'll definitely watch it.
20 years or something like that?
Oh my
Probably
God.
older, huh?
I think it's older. I feel like they had a 20-year anniversary not too long ago for it.
I would think
I
could go with like
30,
dude.
I
would think it's probably close to like 30 years old.
Well, I mean, I saw it in theaters, so.
Okay, so maybe not 30 then.
Maybe like 24-ish, 25, yeah.
Still, it's been
a long
for
time.
a while.
No.
But it'll always be a good classic.
I think you're right with the nostalgia aspect, though. It's one of those good ones from everyone's childhood.
So about you, James, number 6?
All right, my number 6 is one that's been named already. Casey named it.
Casey named it?
Can you guess it?
Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
I don't know.
Nemo?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So
that list.
not gonna touch on it a whole lot. I mean, obviously it's been kind of spoke on already, but definitely enjoy that movie. Obviously enough to put it in 6 on my list. I don't know, just really enjoy it. Can put it on pretty much any time, and I really like the relationship between Nemo and his father. I can't think of what his father's name is right now.
Marlin.
I don't know, just something about their relationship. How like they're like not big fans of each other in the beginning, and then like he obviously like gets swept away, and then Marlin does whatever he can to like rescue him and find him, and towards the end of the movie, I think he kind of
realizes like how good of a daddy
he is,
and
how important
he would go across
and,
the ocean to save him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing I did really like about in Finding Dory, when she's like, I miss them, but talking about her parents, and because he didn't want to go on the trip with her,
right?
And she's like, don't you know what that feels like? And then he's remembering from the first one, and he's like, yeah,
right, I get it.
But yeah, Nemo's a good one, man.
Yeah.
All right, so then we're gonna be at Casey on number 5, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So my number 5 is Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know if you guys. I know Chris has seen it. I don't know if
I
you've
have
seen
seen
it.
that movie actually. It's pretty good
It's
actually.
so good. Like the first time I saw it, I just like fell in love with it. I don't know. I think it's like really cool aspect of the movie. I like that it has like all of like those old games. Like it has like Pac-Man and everyone, and you can like go in and out of different games and stuff like that.
You can't
And I
die
guess
in your game, but you can die in other
yeah,
people's games.
and I just like how at first like everyone like what is the one guy's name?
Felix. Fix-It
Fix-It
Felix.
Felix,
Yeah.
that's it. How like everyone like like kind of shuns him in the beginning and like doesn't want anything to do with him. Like he would try and go up into the party and they were like, "Why are you here? Get out!" Blah blah blah. But then he kind of just like wanders off because he
Felix
feels
was
like
a
he has.
dick.
Yeah.
He
He's
really was.
definitely an
He
asshole.
definitely was.
Not as bad as the one dude though that was like kind of dressed up more so. He was like someone that lived in the house.
Oh, when they were
I know who you're
upstairs,
talking
about.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So
You like feel bad for the dude.
you do. I felt bad
A little
for
bit.
like
Yeah.
felt the whole time. I'm not even gonna lie, but yeah, it's a good movie. I think it's a good watch.
I'll
Definitely
have to
worth a
check that
shot.
one out again. Like it's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, I
It's
really.
a good one though.
Then they go to like he goes because he wants to get a medal, so he goes to like the alien one, but gets like it gets real bad, and he like somehow gets on a spaceship that flies him out, right?
Yeah, and then he ends up in like
Yeah.
that
Candy
forest. Remember
cane
Candy
or something.
World
Yeah.
or something like
Oh,
that?
what
And
is
then
it?
there's the race that they end up
The guy
racing.
that rules that land is so funny.
I know, yeah.
Is
So
it Professor
funny.
Candy?
I don't know.
can't
think-
It's
I
been
don't
too
know.
long.
Dude, how he talks is funny.
But then he
though.
like meets up with that little girl, with like the glitter or whatever, and
Yeah.
like she's in
Right.
that race and stuff. But
It's
yeah,
good.
it's a good movie.
Should have made my list. It's good.
Would it have made your list? Doing it again?
Maybe. I don't know, man.
Maybe,
Both
like-
of you have listed a couple that it's like, I guess I just didn't see it when I went through the initial list.
It's hard to like think of all the
Yeah.
animated movies and like
No.
be able to think
I
like.
tried to like look them up a bunch. Like when I looked up my original, I just jotted ones that I really enjoyed. I think I had like 15 or 20, kind of like
Kinda
how you
narrowed
did
down.
with the
That's how I did it
Marvel
again, too.
movies,
I think it's
so-
just easy, because then I want to at least see everything, and then
right. All right. Well,
somehow I
what,
missed that, though.
what rounds up your top 5 there, Chris?
We're on 5 now?
Yeah.
Lego
Think
movie.
like number.
Lego movie.
I should have never done. Lego movie is awesome. Does it count because it gets live action for a second there?
I still
I would
call it
count
If it
it.
doesn't-
When I looked up animated movies, it was on an animated movie list, so
Yeah.
I would go with it. I really enjoyed the movie. I just kind of was like, you're right with the live action, so I didn't throw it on my list, but it could go.
And I will admit that part of it was like I could have gone without.
Right.
But overall, I don't know. Mentioned before, I think in other videos that I really like Chris Pratt. I think he's funny. I think he does a good job in that. And I just really like the movie, the concept, and then
Is he like the main?
he's the main voice.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I've
who
never
doesn't
seen
like
that one
Legos,
either.
dude?
I
And
know.
it's like-
but I'm just not really like.
The
I can
Not
understand
really
why
my
you.
kind of
Yeah, I
movie.
can understand why you haven't seen that one, but
Yeah.
I've seen it a couple times.
I've heard
actually.
good things about it though,
It's good,
and I love Chris Pratt. So.
that's a movie. When I saw a trailer, I was like, "What is this?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it came out and it did so well. It's making tons of money, and then I still didn't see it. And then I saw it when it was on like HBO or something. It's like I really like this movie. I get it. So yeah, Lego movie is my number 5, and then we're gonna go to James for his number 5.
Alrighty, my number 5 is a movie I know is going to be a lot higher on your guys' list, probably. Up.
Favorite movie.
It's a
Love
good
it.
Spoiler.
It's a good one though. But no, I really enjoy the movie. I think Kate, we were talking before we did this, and you were like, "Oh, the beginning's a little sad." The beginning's a little sad,
It's
but then
definitely sad.
it definitely gets really good and more upbeat towards as it goes along. But just the storyline behind it, and just honestly, the movie throughout is really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I think it's a
honestly.
good, and it's got so many different like plot twists. It goes from like the wife dying, and then all of a sudden, he meets the kid, and then they go to like the secret place,
Right.
obviously, wherever. And then there's Kevin, who's like
Right.
the weird looking
Right.
bird. You know what I mean? There's just like
No,
so many
there's
different
a lot
like.
to it for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just I think it appeals to like not just kids because like obviously we're adults and we really enjoy
Right,
the movie.
right.
You know what I mean? So I think it kind of like we said with Incredibles and stuff like it appeals to more age groups. and
Yes,
I think,
definitely.
I think a lot of people like truthfully really enjoy that movie.
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
agree.
much it. I'm not gonna say too much because I know you're gonna talk a bunch on it later.
Definitely.
All right, Case. What's number 4?
Okay, so my number 4 I know isn't gonna make anyone else's list, but it's like one of my favorites. Ratatouille. I think it's such a cute movie.
It's funny that she says it's not gonna make anyone else's list. It didn't make my list, but that was the movie that I contemplated the most.
Really?
I was like, dude, this one needs to make the list. I thought you guys were gonna look at me dumb for putting it on the
No.
list.
Oh,
I wish I would have put it on the list.
Love this movie.
She loves Ratatouille.
Yeah. I think it's so cool, like, that the rat is like his little chef, you know, and like helps the guy. I like that he can like cook like out of his hat and everything. And like how he comes from like, you know, scavenging like with his family out to like
Right.
kind of like owning like a restaurant eventually. And I just love the aspect that like at first obviously it was like, oh my god, there's a mouse in here, like what the hell, you know what I mean, like freaking out.
Even the other mouses
even
like are like don't cook and stuff, right? Aren't they?
Right,
like,
right.
against
His
it?
entire family and like his entire like colony, I guess you could say, is like super against it, and they're like, his dad takes him out like walking around one like throughout the movie, and he's like showing him what he's like, this is what happens to rats when you go to like people places, and there's like rat killing and all this like
Right,
traps
just
and
basically saying you
stuff.
shouldn't trust humans, you know.
Right, and then like he ends up finding like a human that actually like really needs
Understands
him and,
him
like,
and-
understands him exactly, and it just, I don't know, there's a lot to that movie, but I think it's like really good, and like, I don't know, that one guy, the critic, is super like evil and
Oh
kinda,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
total dick, but whatever.
Yeah, but just
Wasn't
like,
the one guy hiding the fact that the kid really should own the restaurant?
Yeah, the
Like the head chef.
the head chef was. It was
chef.
supposed to be his restaurant. Yep.
because he's the like, only
He
person
was the
related
heir.
to the
Yeah.
dude or whatever. Yeah. No.
But then at the end, once it comes out, obviously,
That's
then
like
they end
two
up.
villains, kind of. The
Yeah,
head chef's
yeah.
kind of a jerk, and then the critic's kind of a jerk. The critic ends up like loving his stuff later
Yeah.
on. It, but-
Right. But then, and then there's like, you know, the little love twist with like the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
and like the
Yep.
girl shop and stuff. So,
Yep.
all in all, I think it's a really cute movie. It's
No,
definitely one of my
it's
favorites.
a good one.
I like it. You make it
Shoulda-
seem like I don't like it or
It should have
whatever,
been on
but
my list.
No, but I mean, I know it's not like one of those popular
Yeah.
ones that people are like, oh my gosh, this is the best, you know. But
Yeah,
for me,
I
it's
should have put it on the list.
definitely one of my
honestly.
top favorites.
Especially now talking about it, I'm like, damn, I could have done
Yeah.
that.
it's like so good.
that's how I felt about Wreck-It Ralph.
All right, Chris.
Number 3? No, number 4.
Number 4, bro. Come on.
I know I'm ahead of the game. What's going on? I'm messing the list.
We ain't on
up.
the top 3 yet.
Top 4. Number 4. Toy Story 2.
The
Wow, you jumped to
second
2,
one.
huh?
Yeah. I think it's like
So you think it's better than the first?
So that's the one with Jesse, right?
no. Jesse is
Or is
the
that the
first
third?
The
one.
first one, right?
Jesse no, that's Sid.
No.
Sid's the first.
Jesse is the cowgirl, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
so
it's
that's the
that
second one,
Yeah,
right?
I was,
Yeah, okay.
I was thinking like Sid for a second.
No, Jesse's like, because that's the one where like they steal him, right?
Yeah, and
then
he's
he
supposed to
wakes
go to
up,
like
in the-
China
yeah,
in a
yeah,
museum.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's definitely pretty good. I like that one.
I just like because
I like the first one better, but that's, I don't know, it's just good. You know,
I
everyone's
like
got
how,
their
like,
opinion.
Buzz and Woody are already like friends.
They have
There's
their like rapport kind of.
yeah,
I
they're,
get
Yeah,
they're not.
that's true.
It's not half the movie like Woody trying to like destroy him and then
Right.
whatever, and then they realize it. I just
Right.
like how they're friends, and then I really liked when the guy found him he steals him from the garage sale.
Oh, yeah.
Because Woody wasn't supposed to be there, but he went to save down the squeaker toy that couldn't squeak,
Right.
and then the guy like just saw him and just stole him and fixed him up, and I don't know. I really like it.
Nah, dude, Toy Story.
I think
2
it's
is
like
good.
I think it's rated the best. Honestly,
it?
if you looked it up.
It's
A lot-
definitely,
I know a lot
I'm
of
not saying
people
it's
enjoy
not
the
good, I
second
really
one.
like it. And I kind of like that it's got like a different twist to it rather than just like, you know, the first one's all about like Andy going to college. It's kind of like, it's
Right.
cool, but like,
The third one. What are you talking about?
wasn't
The
the first
the
one
first
where
one he doesn't go to college.
The first one,
he-
Andy's a kid,
Yeah, he goes.
and he
to,
gets
like,
Buzz for his birthday,
Yeah.
That was
and then
that
he
was
takes
okay.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The third one's where he goes to college, and I actually like that one too. Still,
I think I've only seen the third one once, but I mean, while we're on the subject of Toy Story, that's my number 4. The first one, though.
oh yeah,
Oh,
look at that.
look at that.
The
Maybe
first
her-
one.
See, I'm a bigger fan of the first one as well. I really,
Yeah.
I do like the second one. Don't get me wrong, but
I just like I don't know, like the whole Toy Story aspect of it is like it's cool, like a bunch of toys that like come to life when you're not paying attention or like when you're like out of the house kind of thing. It's I don't know, it's cool. It's like something like you always thought as a kid, like what if that actually happened?
Dude, I went to Disney. My dad took me and my brother to Disney World, and dude, we got those toys because that was like the big movie at the time. Dude, I loved those toys. And then like, I guess if you're walking around Disney World and you say Andy's coming,
Yeah, they'll like drop.
they'll
right?
drop to the ground, dude. That's so cool.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All the ones from at least Toy Story,
Right.
but
That's really cool.
They're good movies, man. They really are, and I don't know. I think everyone's had that thought, like when they get home from school, it's like, dude, my toys were not right.
right.
Yes.
And then it's just, I don't know, it makes you think, but yeah.
You ever see that meme of it's like a guy lying on a bed with a girl, and then it's the girl, it says in a picture by hers, he's thinking about other girls, and then the guy says, if Buzz Lightyear thought he wasn't a toy, why'd he drop down every time Andy walked into the room?
Right.
That's
It's just,
funny.
The first time I read that, it's like, dude, that is so
Pretty
it's so
accurate.
funny.
Right.
But I love in the first one when he's like, bring me the whatever. I can't think what he's saying, and I'm gonna mess it up. But it's just Scotch tape, and the
Oh,
dude's like,
yeah.
the tape, because he's fixing his ship or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good one. I like the second one better than the first one, but I like them both.
That's right. Agree to disagree.
Music's better in the first one. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So what does that bring us to? The top three for KG?
Top 3 on Casey.
My number 3 is Zootopia.
It's a good spot for it, I feel.
Yeah, it's
That's a really good movie.
that's one of my favorite movies. It's very interesting, but I like the storyline of it. How it's like, you're the first cop or first bunny to be a cop, and she's like so
Right.
gung ho on like being that, and her parents just put her down constantly, saying like, you can't do this, you can't do this, and she ends up like, showing everyone like, yes, I can, I
Right.
got this, and she ends up like moving all the way up. And then I just love like the friendship that her and Nick, right?
Nick Wilde, yeah.
Yeah, her and
yep.
Nick like form, together. And, there's like those little like arguments and stuff throughout the way, but they end up like coming back together and like, taking down the bad person, which is like the
Right.
sheep or whatever. But
There's a lot of like,
and how it's like, it's kind of funny how like, it always like, it seems like throughout the whole thing, like the lion's the bad guy, like the
Right.
top like
Yeah.
police chief or whatever. But really, he has like no idea what's going on with everything.
the mayor, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think there's a lot of like messages in that movie that could like be missed by some of the kids that see it, but I think there's a lot of like really good messages in
Yeah,
that
no, I
movie.
was
Like,
actually just gonna say
the
like
discrimination against
there's, like,
bunnies
I was
that
gonna say,
they can't be
there's a lot of
cops.
stereotypes in that movie.
Yeah,
that
that's
get,
what
like,
it is.
That
It's
get,
stereotypes.
Like, broken. Is like like a bunny can't be a cop, or like
The
especially the fox
foxes-
can't be a cop.
Well,
you
the
know what I mean?
foxes are shady, shifty
Right,
people.
right.
Just
that,
because
and then
they're
there's
foxes.
also like, how they like target all like what is the word I'm looking for? The predators.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
the predators
right,
are
yeah,
bad.
right,
So
right.
if you're a predator, like that means that
So just
you're
like
gonna
proving,
attack someone
proving
no
all
matter
those
what.
stereotypes wrong. I mean, there's a lot
Exactly.
of messages in that movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like you kind of said, like little kids might not see it and see those messages, but they're obviously gonna love the movie because the movie itself has got a lot of action and it's super good, and then it appeals to those adults that like see the messages.
It's definitely one of those that the adults could like sit down and watch and like.
And that's another one that the movie or the music in it is like amazing.
Dude, it's
And
good.
Shakira.
Dude, I love that movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I remember like not wanting to watch it at all. Like I was so against it, and then Melanie made me sit down and watch it, and I just remember being glued.
I didn't even
I
know
wasn't
what
even
it
sure
was.
how I was
You
gonna feel
bought
about
it
it at first. Yeah, no, I did.
at
I know.
Sarah's on Amazon just so he would have something to watch.
And he ended up loving it. I mean, how many times did we watch it with him?
That's good.
Can't even count on like.
That's good.
It's a good
Two
one.
hands.
I'll give you that. I'll give you Zootopia.
What, are you gonna say it on your list now?
No, we're on 3, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Zootopia.
Must be high.
Inside Out.
All right.
I like that one. It didn't make my list, but I really do like that movie.
Everyone, I feel like that movie is extremely highly rated among people. I personally do not like it as much as everyone else does.
I get that. But one thing I like about Inside Out is like there's some of these animated movies, and I know it's just voices, but like where I feel like the voice doesn't fit. Like, I've like complained to you about Lorax. Like I feel like Taylor Swift doesn't fit the girl and Zac Efron, whatever.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like they definitely need to do like a little bit better.
Yeah, like I get it. It's just like a cartoon,
you
but
can't
like
just throw like any famous person in and have it be like a good person.
Yeah, dude, the voices for Inside Out is spot on though. Who they got for Anger? What is it? Bill Hader is the Fear one or whatever. Dude, that's awesome. Mindy from The Office is the Disgust. I think she does awesome. Sadness is Phyllis from The Office.
Phyllis does amazing on
Dude,
that. Sadness, like she's like perfect for Sadness.
And I just
like the voice. Just
yeah.
You just love any movie that has anyone from The Office, bro.
I mean, it has two, so it's gotta be up there. But in all honesty, it's just like the actual message. Like I really
No,
like
it's a good movie and it
message
has a good
behind it.
message for sure. I just personally didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else did. Maybe that's just because I knew there was so much hype behind it. I don't know. Maybe it just didn't live up to that hype for me.
I get that. Trust me, I get that.
I like how they has the islands, like in the movie, she like has all her separate islands, and I really like at the end of the movie, like when it comes up and there's like Boy Island and like Shopping Island, you know what I'm talking about, and all
Yeah.
that kind of funny stuff. So it's like funny how it ages, and then they get the new board at the end of the movie.
What is puberty?
What is puberty?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's
Right.
like, I don't know, it's just cool to see,
I like it.
and you
It's
can
a good
kind of like
movie.
just relate to it because like
It's
everyone
relatable.
has that
I was gonna
time
say,
where all
it's
these thoughts are
relatable
running
for
through their
sure.
heads,
It's definitely a relatable movie.
Yeah, so that's a good pick.
So what's your number 3 then, James? We know it's not
Alright.
Inside Out.
It's not Inside Out. It's actually Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Honestly,
Such a good movie.
it's so good. And I honestly, I feel like number 3, I could have put it at number 1.
I'll have to rewatch.
I seriously
this,
enjoy this movie so much, and I'm telling you, out of all the movies on my list, I've probably seen this movie at least 50 times more than any other movie on this list, and that's saying something because I've seen a lot of these movies a lot of times. I would say anytime I see this movie, it's a guaranteed it's going on TV. It's so good, dude. I don't know. I really enjoy it. Obviously, there's not much to say on it. Casey said a lot about it, but
I'm gonna rewatch
super
it.
Good.
Very good movie.
I'm gonna watch it.
Check it out, dude. You're probably gonna hate it, but I love
I'm
it.
not a big Tim Burton guy.
What's wrong with you, bro? Come on now.
I'm not huge on Tim Burton either. Like I never got into like Corpse Bride and all that kind of stuff. But this is
not bad either, though.
I've heard good things about it, but
It
it's
looks
just a little
weird,
too,
dude.
Yeah,
It's actually not that bad. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy that movie at all, but I actually didn't mind it.
I'm not normally into like the dark movies, but it's just I can't like Nightmare Before Christmas is the one exception to that. I just love that movie.
Maybe we'll watch that tonight.
Yes, we should.
Top 2, huh?
Top 2, Casey. Number 2.
Number 2, Monsters Inc. Obviously, we kind of went over this already when.
She was talking it up a lot when.
No, she was though. She enjoyed it. It's a good movie.
No, I love Monsters Inc.
I see why now.
Yeah, it's always been one of my favorites. I love the characters. I love.
I like
there's
the
like the. I like that there's like the evil, between like Randy or no.
Who's the guy who can go invisible?
That's what I'm talking
about.
Is it Randy? Isn't it Randy? Randall.
It's Steve Buscemi's voice.
Yeah,
I know
there's
that.
Randall, who is trying to obviously.
He wants to be the best.
He wants to be number one, and so he's always been number one. And then I kind of like the twist about how then all of a sudden, what's the big guy's name? The boss. I can't think of his name, but how he's actually the bad guy in it.
Oh yeah.
And he's,
that's right, because of the overall big twist.
Yeah.
Yep. There's that
laughter is more energy, right?
Yep.
Right,
yep.
Yeah.
And then I just love, the fact that it ends with becoming, not scary, but making kids laugh instead, which is just kind of a cool,
One thing I didn't say
big
too
twist
that I
to
really
it.
enjoy in that movie is how that one dude that always gets touched by something that and he always has to go into contamination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that dude. It's bro.
He comes back with a sock or
on
something.
his back,
Yeah.
They shave him and give him a shower.
Right, dude.
Because they're so afraid of the humans.
Right. They just
Another one, exactly. Where kind of like Transylvania, where it's they're afraid of the humans, which is just funny.
I like
That's
that
a good
one.
Dude.
And then I like
They
the
made all of our
laughter part
list.
at the end when Mike Wazowski's sitting on the thing doing stand up with the guy, with the kid.
Oh,
right at the end of the movie.
yeah.
That was super funny.
Finally, something that he could be good at too, which is funny.
Because he couldn't scare exactly.
Right.
So, good movie.
That might be the only one that's 3-way crossover so far.
What's number 2 on yours?
Number 2 is what I thought would be my number 1, hands down. To be honest with you, I thought what this movie was easily number 1, and then it just somehow fell to 2, but I still love it, and it's gonna be Up.
Love it.
Yeah, I love Up. It's when we started talking about this list, it was Up's number 1. Let's go from there, but it isn't. But I still love it. I just love the interaction between the kid and then the grandpa. It's one of those obviously where they dislike each other, and then by the end, the grandpa becomes a father figure to him, and he learns to let go of his wife that had passed. And
this is gonna be a 3-way. This one will be on all of our lists because it was on mine too. But
we all know it's on my list.
yeah,
so
it's a good one.
Up.
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah, I love Up. That's tearjerker at the beginning.
Definitely cry every time.
For sure. I guess that brings me to my number 2, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my number 2 is Zootopia.
Nice.
Like I said, I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was super good. Kind of talked about those stereotypes that like get broken in that movie, and I don't know. It's a really enjoyable movie, and it's one of those like animated kidsy movies that I would definitely have no issues watching more than once for sure. So, obviously we all kind of touched on it. So, there's
Well,
not
even
much-
with the stereotypes, like the elephants, like the foxes can't read and all that. Like, it's just
right.
Or like where they won't let him into like the ice cream shop.
yeah.
You
They
know
won't
what I
even
mean?
sell them
Like,
a cone.
yeah,
I mean,
or
those things
sell
were
them popsicle
huge.
stick.
Right.
Shouldn't you be melting down a popsicle or something? I love when that guy's selling the videos and it's like a Wreck-It Ralph video, but instead it's like Wreck-It Rhino or
Yes,
whatever.
yeah, all of them are like little like.
Right.
It's little
like
spoofs on
puns
other
and
ones.
Yeah.
spoofs, yeah. All right, Case. Go ahead.
So we all know what
I
my number
wonder what
one
number one
is.
is.
It's Up, my favorite animated movie. Like I said, we've touched on it a lot already, but I like I said, the beginning is always a tearjerker, but I really like how there's the relationship between the old man and the kid. Like Chris pointed out, I like the fact that the kid really helps him get over his wife that passed away, which
Right.
obviously was very hard on him because he didn't want to like leave anything different than the way it was when they were together, And I like the fact that even though they could never like save up the money to go where they wanted to go, like obviously every time they tried to save up money, something would happen, the
Right.
car broke down or whatever it was in the little, theme thing in the beginning. But the fact that he ends up making it to the place where like, Ellie always wanted to go. And the fact that he got the house over there and like made her dreams possible, even though she wasn't there anymore, it just was really cute.
It's super cute.
I love when the dogs are. I don't know. I just thought about this part, but the really scary dog is like, "Oh, you don't sound scary," but his like voice thing is messed up. So then he switches it, and it's like, "Oh."
Yes, the dogs are so
Right.
funny. And that's the other thing. It's just kind of funny.
Well-
Like, there's like that whole aspect to the movie, and then there's the whole aspect of like the guy who's like trying to, you know,
Just
the
get-
evil guy that's
Right.
trying to get that.
He's trying to catch the animal
Yep.
that
trying
everyone
to catch
thought.
Kevin,
Yeah.
which is just a funny, obnoxious animal to begin with. Like, it's
Right.
just so funny. Like, what is it that he likes chocolate, right? Is that what he was always eating? I can't remember now.
I'm trying to think.
I think it was chocolate.
Yeah, I think it was chocolate. He's like obsessed with, but yeah, no, all in all, it was a really good movie. It's
Love
definitely my
Up.
favorite.
All right,
Alright,
so
man.
me for number one, which again I thought was going to be Up, but instead this will be another. So what do we have? Monsters Inc. and Up have been all of our lists.
And Zootopia.
Zootopia has not.
Oh, it's
Until
Monsters,
right
yeah,
now.
that's that too.
It's Zootopia. I love Zootopia. We've all talked about it enough. I mean, my son watches it. I try to like push for him to watch that one sometimes instead of the ones he wants
Get a little
because
break.
I really like Zootopia. Nick and the bunny, Judy Hopps. Yeah, I like how their names,
Yeah.
go
Right.
with it.
Nick Wilde.
Yeah, their relationship's cool, and like when they all go dancing at the end at the Shakira concert.
That's the
He does
best.
the little,
The little
Yeah,
hand thing.
yeah.
Right.
We would always wait till the end to watch that.
yeah. But yeah, enough's been said about it. I love Zootopia. So then James's number one is what? Has it been said?
No.
Your number one hasn't been said?
Wow, it should be interesting.
I'm surprised this one wasn't on any of your lists. Actually, the movie that I'm surprised it wasn't on either of your guys' lists, just because I feel like I've seen this movie over here probably 500 times, and maybe that's the reason it's not as Bolt. I really thought that was gonna be on one of your guys'
I don't like
lists.
Bolt.
Not a fan.
My son likes Bolt. We're not
Yes.
doing Matthew's top 10 here.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, alright, number one on my list is Shrek.
Ooh, I love Shrek. That was actually on my 15 that I had to narrow down and I didn't pick it, but
I enjoy Shrek a bunch.
I
think
love
it's
Shrek.
super funny. I love Donkey.
Yeah, Donkey's the funniest.
Dude, I don't.
I love when they get to the castle and they pull, they walk up and he's like, "Sure, it's big and all, but look at the location."
Yeah.
Like, dude, that part gets me every time,
Right.
dude.
I don't know, man. It's just like it's super good. I don't know. I think it's super funny that the fact that like he has to to get his swamp back, he has to, he goes to the the
Lord
castle.
Farquaad, right?
Yeah, he goes
Yeah,
talks to
it's
that
Lord
dude who's
Farquaad.
just like super weird and
He's so short that his castle's so
right.
tall.
And he's like, all right, you got to go get my princess for me because like there's no way I'd ever be able to get her myself. Bring her back here, and then you can have your swamp. But
Well, originally that's they're having the tournament to see who will go
Who
get
will
the
go get the
princess.
princess.
And if one of you will die, then so on and so forth until or whatever.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just like
which is just
I'm not going to get her pretty much.
I like the fact that like at first it's obviously like the stereotype the princess is like, you're an ogre, you're not supposed to like rescue me, like this isn't how it's supposed to go,
Right.
you know, and she's like so offended by it that by the end of the movie they end up falling in love, which I think is like super
and then
cute.
she just becomes
And I like
an ogre.
love the fact I just love
she
the
is
ending.
an ogre the
Yeah.
whole time.
Right.
But I like the ending, you know, like in the church when like she obviously kisses him and is supposed to like turn her back into like a princess or whatever, and you know, she's like, why am I not beautiful? And then he's like, oh, you are beautiful. And it's just so cute how they like adapt to that. It's like,
I'm glad they did
you
that. They
weren't
could
supposed to meet someone. You're like, you know what I mean? You were never supposed to be that. You're supposed to meet the person that will love you
Right.
for who you are, which
It's like the inside beauty too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
not-
which-
exactly.
I thought was really cool. I
I
think
mean-
it's a good lesson.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed this movie enough to buy the video game when they came out with the video
Nice.
game.
That's like a video
I
game.
didn't even know there was
On
a video
GameCube,
game.
bro.
Oh,
I played
man.
I
Oh,
played the
goodness.
hell out of that game too, dude. It was so much fun. But yeah, that's number one. On
It's
the
a good one. I'll
list.
give you that.
I like that movie a
I feel
lot.
like it wasn't.
I liked the second
big
one
on your
actually a
Fun
lot
You,
too.
bro.
The
I
second
like
Shrek is really
Shrek.
good.
I like Shrek a lot. I haven't. You
You
always
never
say-
seen the
I
second
don't
one?
think so.
Oh, the second one's so
Second one's
good.
good,
I don't want to
too.
like get into it. Obviously, it's not on our list, but that's definitely
I'll check that out.
a really good one
Shrek
too.
didn't make my list because honestly, Matthews wore me out on
Isn't
that
there
thing.
like 4 of them now too?
Three, I
Three, I
think.
think.
No, I think there's 4. There's
If
one.
there's 4, that's
There's
nuts.
the one. The first one is like the original, and there's the one where
What's the one
they're
where
married
her
and they go back to
parents-
happily ever after.
Yeah.
That's the second. And third one is where they have kids, and then actually it's funny because Matthew's therapist was telling me about this, but there's a 4th one now, where oh gosh, why can't I remember what it was about?
I feel like they just made more
If there's
spoofs than
4,
anything.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It
'cause
wasn't
I've
about the
never
kids.
seen the
I'll have to
4th.
look at it.
but
Yeah, but
that's
there's definitely a
crazy
4th
that
one,
there's
so
I know,
it's
like-
like crazy that it's evolved that much, you know?
Yeah,
The Puss in Boots characters have gotten their own movies. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
Puss in Boots was a movie in 2011 or 2012, I think.
It's Antonio Banderas, right?
I think
Dude,
so,
he's
dude.
funny, dude.
I didn't like that movie at all.
I just think he's like a funny character,
Right.
just like a little cat.
Right.
But we're getting way off the ones that
Yeah.
made our list. But yeah, that's our top 10 animated movies. Hope you guys enjoyed the lists. If there's ones we missed, or if there's ones on our list that we shouldn't have been. What was the 4 crossovers
There
for
was
all of
There's
us?
Zootopia,
Up,
and Monsters Inc. Right?
And
That's
Monsters,
it.
I think, yeah,
Yeah,
I
those
think.
are the 3
And
that
then
made
you
everyone's
both
list.
you
Me
both
and her
had
Nightmare
Nightmare.
and Finding Nemo. We both had Finding Nemo.
I didn't
too.
have either of those.
Okay, yep. So there was quite a few like comparisons there, or like a
I guess I'm
So
gonna watch
basically,
that
the
for
moral of
Christmas.
this is me and Casey have good taste.
Yeah,
There it
exactly.
is. There it
Who
is.
doesn't like Nightmare Before Christmas? Just
Dude,
saying.
come on, bro. What are you thinking?
But yeah, just stay on the lookout for another podcast. What was a couple ones we were thinking of doing next?
Let's see. We were thinking like top 10
We could do it.
Oscars.
We could look at the Oscar pictures that won Best Picture and like rate those. We were thinking maybe top 10 Office episodes or really whatever
You guys think?
you
Let us
guys
know.
think come to mind and let us know. So
Yeah.
thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris.
I'm James.
I'm Casey.
Later.
Have a good day.